This is Sam Shields, and you're listening to Shooting Up North with Lewis Carlan.
Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North, Indy edition. I am your host, Lewis Carlan. I'm very excited today because joining me today is a rising star in the Maritimes Pro Wrestling scene. Very happy to welcome Sam Shields. Sam, welcome to the show, friend.
Hey, thank you, Lewis. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Hey, my pleasure, my pleasure. So how you doing today, my friend?
Doing great. It's we're recording on a Sunday, so getting geared up for some NFL football. It's what I like to do on my Sundays.
Okay, I was gonna say, who's your team? Who's your team?
My team. I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan. I was a big Peyton Manning guy when I was a kid when he came in the league, so I've just been a Colts fan, and I'm a dedicated kind of fan. So once I pick a team, they're my team, and they're my team for life.
There you go. I'm originally from New York, so I'm a Giants fan.
The Giants. Okay, yeah. See, you guys have probably had a little bit more of a rougher go than we have the last little bit.
They have some work to do. But
a little bit.
They'll get there.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so let's jump right into the wrestling, man. You made your debut at the last Kaizen Pro Wrestling show. So tell me about the experience and how you felt before and after the match.
It was an amazing experience. First of all, huge thank you to everyone at Kaizen. Covey, Dave Boyce, Brad, Chip Chambers, Squishy, for giving me the opportunity, and especially Covey. Covey's my trainer, Covey Christ. He put the time and work and had the patience with me and taught me everything that I know. So I was really excited to debut and to kind of show off what I've learned, and really kind of get the career going. I was really excited. Slightly nervous.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off, man. You go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, it's all right. I was just saying, I was slightly nervous, but I think nerves are a good thing in that sort of situation. It means you got something to lose, right?
Absolutely, man. And you mentioned Covey Christ. I'm gonna ask you about training with Covey Christ a little later on. But you put up a pic on Instagram. Your chest was just absolutely beaten red. Was
Yes.
that a result of the debut match? The debut match?
No, that was actually after some training, we did some training matches one day, and after the training match, one of the things that Covey said, there was no chops taken or anything like that. So he said, "Well, how did that match feel?" And I said, "Well, it actually felt really great. Given the guy that I was working with in the training match, he took care of me." And he's like, "Okay, time to line up in the corners and take some chops." And I was like, "Okay then." So it was. Everybody, there was I think there was four of us there, including myself. And, I've taken one from Covey, taken a couple from him. And I was like, okay. But we actually had Jefferson James with us. And we also had Big T. He was there. So when I knew I was lining up in the corner and they were in, Big T and Jefferson were doing rock, paper, scissors as to who got to go first to light me up. I was a little, I knew what was coming, but honestly, it felt great. I felt like it was fun. I felt like I was actually part of the group. It was like really kind of brought me in. I got my chops and it lit me up. I was proud of it. I posted that picture with pride.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say you look really, really proud in that picture. So they just all lined up one by one, and they all took turns chopping in the chest. Huh?
Exactly. Well, not even so much as one by one. Like it was, but it was just like the lesson was. That's the worst you should feel in a match. Like that's the most pain that, that's going to be the worst part that you're going to take. Somebody can give you a brain buster, somebody can give you a suplex, and, it is going to hurt, but those chops are going to be the ones that really leave the marks. And the lesson was well received. And, I think the best part about that match, the debut match, I actually had my debut match against Jefferson. He called me out as a trainee because he wanted his match felt he deserved. And I was able to pay him back a little bit during that match with a couple chops. I'll have to send you the photo. I was able to, you could really see the waves in his chest on the one that I gave him.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting. I'm waiting for that show to be put on independent wrestling TV.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that whole show, and I look forward to
Oh,
see your debut match
same.
in general. So your thoughts on Jefferson James, and how did you feel? Do you feel you learned anything in that match, or what were your thoughts on Jefferson James?
Absolutely. Well, Jeff's a pro's pro. I think is a good way to put it. If you're a Mike Babcock guy, if you're a hockey fan, I'm a bit of a hockey guy. I like using sports analogies. Was a Babcock line. He's a pro's pro, and that's Jefferson, man. He made sure that that I was taken care of. He knew that. He made sure that we knew our spots and that we didn't get lost. Anything in the stuff that we if we have to Jeff taught me that I can also sorry, excuse me, work the crowd, really settle in, be in the moment more. He really helped me along. He really helped me along. And I think he gave me a great debut, made me look like $1,000,000. And I hope I was able to do the same for him.
Yeah, I saw a number of posts on social media saying that you had a great debut and then people congratulating you. I personally haven't seen the match yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But from what I hear, you had a fantastic debut against Jefferson James.
Yeah, it honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better debut. And I know a lot of people debut differently in this business, and some go good, some go bad, some go in the middle. And I think I'm the type of person that I always I'm my worst critic myself. I always feel like I'm my worst critic. So to me, I know there's things that I need to work on, and I know there's things that I need to do better. But for a debut, I'll take it. I'll take it, and I know that I'm going to put the work in, and I know that I'll consistently get better. And that's my goal.
There you go, and I'm with you, and I'm my own worst critic as well. Whenever I listen back to my interviews, I'm like, oh, I sound like an idiot, or I shouldn't have asked that question, or what am I talking about? So I understand. So I
Exactly.
understand, man.
Exactly.
So you mentioned in a post in a social media post that joining Kaizen Pro Wrestling Academy is the best decision you ever made. So I'll ask you, why was that the best decision that you ever made?
Well, I guess this is a bit of a loaded question there. I got to give you a little bit of backstory. You ready for this one, Lewis? How much time do we have on the show?
Take your time. We have 16 hours. Go ahead.
16. All right, perfect. Well, so back in January, I was actually around the beginning of the 2020. I was actually laid off of work. I was working for my family business. My family owns an oil and gas supply company, and I was laid off. Nothing to do with COVID, just it was a business decision, and we had to make some cuts, and one of those cuts was me. So I was sitting at home and trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with the rest of my life, because at the time I was 29 years old. I've started over multiple times with different jobs and, in different areas. Like I've done radio, I've done TV, I've done sales, I've done it all, I felt like. But the one thing that's always been in my life, I felt, was wrestling. Wrestling was one of those things that I've always kind of came back to. I was involved with a couple different promotions, like back in the years and years ago. I had I did small little parts. It was in and out kind of thing. And one day we were on a tour, and we had Matt Stryker. Matt Stryker was a part of this tour, and I was actually just announcing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was just announcing, and me and Matt Stryker, I think we just kind of struck a conversation, and we just kind of got chatting. He was telling me after one of the days, he kind of gave me a little bit of a pep talk and said, you're great on the mic, you're good, you can talk, you're good with people. He's like, but can you wrestle? And I said, this was about 5 years ago, and I was like, no, man, I'm just part of the show. You know what I mean? I'm here because I love the business. I'm here I just enjoy it. And he goes, well, if you ever want to make it in this business, you need to get into shape. That was the one thing he said. He's like, you need to get your chubby ass into shape, and he's like, and you need to get trained. And I said, okay, well, that's it. So so that promotion folded that I was with. They folded. They're no longer around. And with that, I lost my spot. So from there, I just kind of went along with my life. And again, like I say, I got laid off of work. So flash forward, got laid off of work in January. And I said, enough is enough. I need to do this. I need to get trained. I need to see if I can actually do this myself. I want this. I want to do it. It's time. And so I contacted Covey. Covey immediately said, yeah, man, if you want to get trained, move to Windsor, Ontario. And I'm like, oh, okay. Is there anything more local? Yeah, kind of, but no. He's like, there's nothing that I would recommend you to that he felt that, would give me the proper training that I needed to be successful in this business. So, Covey, I said, well, Windsor, Ontario is a bit of a jaunt, and especially not having work or anything like that. I couldn't exactly make that happen. And he offered to say that, yeah, I'm willing to train you. He's like, I'd like to open up a school, and the rest is history. I now consider Covey my Phil Jackson, and I like to think that I'm his Michael Jordan.
There you go. I live in Windsor, Ontario, so if he had came down here, we would have hooked up for some live interviews. But he was talking about the Border City Wrestling school, I believe, right? For you to go train in.
Yes, yeah. So he wanted me to go train with his previous trainers of Scott Demore, Johnny Devine, or even to try and get into the Dukes factory, or like with Tyson Dukes. Okay. So again, like I said, coming from Nova Scotia, it was a tough one to make happen.
Yeah,
especially during with the COVID coming up after that. But I'm quite happy that I made the decision that I did, joining the Kaizen Academy, and I feel like it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
So describe a day of training with Covey Christ. So what actually let me rephrase. Describe your first day of training with Covey Christ and how you felt afterwards.
Okay, all right. So we Covey and I had chatted. He said, well, come out. And I'll see if you're any good, see how you feel. And I'll, see how I feel, kind of thing about the thing. And we'll see if it's a fit. So I got there, and we did a little bit of basic stuff. He's teaching me how to lock up properly and take a bump, proper form of taking bumps and back bumps and stuff like that. And I think about, 10-ish, 15 minutes into it, I think we both kind of had a look with each other of, this is a lot of fun. We had a good chemistry. I was picking it up quickly with at least the things that he was showing me. I was picking them up pretty quickly. And the one thing that I got to tell you, it was funny. He was trying to teach me something. I can't remember what it was, but he was like, squat down is what he said. He's like, do a squat. So I would go to do a squat, and my squat was honestly pretty much just me bending forward at a 90-degree angle. Like my legs were so locked. I could not do a squat. So after being made fun of that, obviously I am not in good enough shape or have the flexibility to be a wrestler right now. I need to learn how to do a squat. So my first day of pro wrestling training, I learned that I am not flexible whatsoever, or that I could do a simple squat. So I definitely found out I had some work to do. But hey, at the same time, we once COVID hit, that was one of the things that's really what I did all COVID during quarantine. Is I was home, and I started doing yoga, started stretching, started working out a lot more, diet, everything. It really gave me the chance to kind of do those things. So when I got back into training with Covey once COVID, regulations allowed us to do so, I was squatting about a plate at the time. So I'm finally able to squat, and I learned that from Covey.
There you go. Did you like show off a little bit? You're like, hey, Covey, watch me. I could squat now. Watch this.
I really did.
Watch this,
I
Covey.
really did. First thing I did when we got in the ring and we're kind of getting stretched out, a little warmed up, I looked at him right in the eyes. I was like, hey, guess what I learned? And I was like, watch this, and just hit a very simple basic squat, and it was like it was like we just went over and won the championship. That's how I felt.
There you go. There you go. But so were you always a pro wrestling fan? And did you always growing up? Did you watch wrestling much?
Yeah. So I was a big fan when I was a kid. Like, I actually have I'll have to send you a picture of it. I have a toddler size, I don't know, maybe being like 1 or 2 year old Hulk Hogan. It says like Hulk rules. It's got like a little tank top that would fit nothing but a toddler. So I was a big Hulk Hogan fan when I was a kid. I was one of those teenagers, I think, that once I got into my teen years, like none of my friends were into it. I was the only one of my friends that were into wrestling. So I did fall off for a bit. But honestly, since I discovered BTE, being the elite, I don't know what it is about that silly show, but BTE really got me back into wrestling in the last few years. And I really kind of, that and a couple buddies that I met over the years that turned out to be wrestling fans as well. They were the ones that got me back into really enjoying and watching wrestling and just loving it again. I'm a big AEW guy and Impact fan now. I can't get enough of it. I love the workers, the storylines, like it's just all so good. It's all so good, and I can't get enough of it.
Me too. I'm a huge Impact Wrestling fan. I have I'm not sure if you're aware, I have my own Impact Wrestling
Yes.
podcast. I do. But AEW I haven't really been following much. I'm a New Japan Pro Wrestling guy. That's my favorite promotion.
That's
I
the
watched
one?
that Impact.
Yep.
But I'm sorry, you say you watch New Japan?
Here and there. I do like a lot
Okay.
of my wrestling that I've been watching lately has really just been for homework. Picking up on guys like
Okay.
my biggest one for kind of trying to watch and emulate and really kind of get into is actually Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley is to me, I can't get enough of him. I think, and I watch. It's everything. Anything I can find of Alex Shelley, I watch it and I study it and I just want to do pretty much everything that guy does. I think he's so smooth and just he's a beauty. Guy's a beauty, and that's one person that I emulate a lot of. And but no, I find I've been watching a lot of stuff for homework. You know what I mean? Like a lot of studying, more so than for entertainment. But New Japan is I've watched New Japan, and it's quite good. The talent that's there is unreal. But I would love to get more into the storylines. That's one thing I haven't had a chance to.
Absolutely. Do you have IWTV by chance?
I do. Yes.
Did you see Alex Shelley against Kylie Ray yesterday? Black Label Pro.
I haven't had a chance yet. I haven't had a chance. I
Great
seen
match.
It up
Great
there.
match. Highly
Is
recommend
it good? Okay, good. I see it up there, and it was. I'm excited. I just haven't had a chance to sit down. Like I'm one of those. Like I got to sit down, get in my chair, be ready to go,
no,
and that's exactly what I'm waiting for. But I thought you know what, Lewis? I thought I'd sit down and have a chat with you instead. This is important to me.
Oh, there
I'm
we
happy
go.
to I'm happy to chat with you.
I'm touched. You chose me over Alex Shelley, so
I chose you over my boy Alex Shelley. Exactly, right? Like, and that's big.
There you go. I
Shelley,
got a little tear.
Yeah, I was gonna say
coming
Alex
down
Shelley.
right now.
I say he's my boy. I've never met the guy in my life, but I feel like we've got a connection. He just doesn't know about it yet.
Okay, there you go. So I won't give away any spoilers in on the match. I'll let you.
Don't.
Very good.
Yeah, no spoilers for me. Let me.
Don't worry. I won't give out. You sound like you get a little upset there. Don't you dare tell me.
Don't you dare tell me how that goes, because I was following along with Kylie, and I seen like the announcement and her reaction for the announcement when she seen that the match was coming up and that they were booked. And just her excitement made me excited. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if you saw that video. I think it was on Instagram that she had. And it was so wholesome and genuine when she got the news that I've been looking forward to that one for a while. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe one day you can go one-on-one with Alex Shelley. That must be the dream match.
Honestly, that would be a dream match. Absolutely. Right now, as this early in my career, and again, like I have not even a handful of matches under my belt. I'm still so green. It's not even funny. Like I'm practically you could call me the Grinch. Like I'm that green. And but I think that would 100% be my dream match one day.
That could be your character. You could be the wrestling Grinch.
The wrestling Grinch. Yeah, come out and do all matches as trainee matches.
Yeah, you. Yeah. So the Maritime Wrestling Academy show, you were on your first poster. I saw the post. How did it feel seeing you on a wrestling poster for the first time?
It was surreal. Honestly, it was absolutely surreal. It was kind of funny too because I felt like I was the only person on that poster that was like looked super happy and excited. That and that's exactly how I felt, man. Like I saw the photo and it was just really really cool. Like even just the experience of taking a couple photos or some promo pics in front of a green screen, not knowing what's going to be on the background, or just that experience was cool in itself. But being able to see it put together for that one, as also not only that, but the upcoming show for Kaizen on November 7th. There's a show coming up, and I'm actually going to be fighting against a guy named Max Power, and they recently released that one, the poster for that, just like our match, and kind of promote that one. And even just seeing that, like the one-on-one, Sam Shields versus Max Power, I was like, holy, like. It's really cool. You know what I mean? It's a surreal feeling. And I love it. It gets me excited. It makes me more and more excited for every booking, every show, every match, just all these little things. It creates a fire in me, and it just makes me want to do better and continue to grow and get more and more pictures and more posters. Hopefully get my own poster.
I was gonna say you do look super excited in both pictures, man. Like the smile is almost from ear to ear.
It is. It really is. It's an ear to ear smile, and I kind of got a kick out of it too when I saw that one because when we were doing it, I had Covey beside me, kind of like as my you're a tiger, we get that smile, flex that chest. Get those lats out, give me that more of a cheeky smile instead of the happy guy smile, and it was hilarious. I had such a fun time with doing it, and I enjoy that stuff. I like just all of it. I'm a bit of an attention whore, I guess. I like the attention. I can't. There's no way to hide it. I'm trying to be modest here about it, but at the end of the day, Louis, I love the attention. So if it's a poster or if it's any of it, I love it. Give it to me.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. And you're going to be getting plenty of attention in the next couple of years. Trust me, man.
Thank you.
So November 7th, you mentioned Kaizen Pro Wrestling going 1-on-1 with Max Power. Max Power apparently upset with his loss to Kimba. You think you'll be ready for that challenge? Would you say this is the biggest match of your career thus far?
Absolutely. Honestly, with the matches, every match at this point is going to be the biggest match of my career, as long as I keep progressing. And that's what you want. You want every next match to be the biggest one of your career. You never want to go backwards, right? So I think Max Power is a huge challenge for me. He is coming off that loss to Kimba. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen if the show hasn't been put up on IGTV by the time this interview comes out. But spoiler alert there. Max, he is coming off the loss against Kimba, so I know he's going to be coming out looking for a win, and also to look to make an example of the new guy, right? So it's my first real official debut match with Kaizen, and I really look forward to it, and I'm going to do everything I can to be ready for it and hopefully come up with a W.
Oh, I think you will. I think Max Power's losing streak is going to continue. I think you're going to come out with a W in that one.
I hope so. I've been
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to say I've been doing my homework on Max, so I know he's been around for a little bit. That's one thing I think I have in my advantage is that there are matches. If you YouTube Max Power on YouTube or you search Max Power, you can see plenty of his matches. And that's one thing I think is to my advantage is that, I don't have those matches. I don't have those up on YouTube, or I don't have any of those kind of under my belt yet. So he's coming in blind. He doesn't really know what I've got in my pocket or up my sleeve. And I hope to use that stuff to my advantage.
All right, now I want to ask you about the match with Mia. I had the match with Mia, and I had asked her about it, and she gave me her opinion. And I asked her this question, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Since you two are both students of Covey Christ, in that match with Mia, do you feel there's a friendly competition? You're both trying to outdo each other to try and show who might be the better students between the two?
For me, I don't know. Okay, wait. What did Mia say?
Mia said no.
No,
Mia
no.
said no. There's no friendly competition. She
Uh,
said she did say. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what she said that she thinks
no,
you're
it's
gonna
okay.
say, but I'll let you answer, and then I'll let you know if
Okay,
you
okay, okay, deal.
said what she thinks you're gonna say.
Because I do. I think there's absolutely competition. I think anytime you get in the ring with somebody, I fight to win. You know what I mean? I fight to win, but it's we've trained together. We're friends. I I think, and no matter what, I'm gonna do what I can to win because I am a competitive guy. I'm one of those people that hates losing more than they like winning. You know, so yeah, absolutely. I think there is a bit of a competition on my end, but a loss is a loss. You know what I mean? Like if Mia was to
Yeah.
beat me, that's fine. I understand. It was your night. You were the better wrestler that night. You were the better fighter. That's good for you, and I will shake your hand, and I'm happy. But I don't ever go into the ring expecting to lose.
Okay, there you go. Well, she basically said you were gonna say what you just said, but she also said that you would have said that you want to beat her up pretty badly. This is what she said that you would have said.
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to beat
Oh,
her up.
but she was kidding. She was kidding.
Yeah,
She was
okay,
kidding.
okay. I wouldn't want to
She
beat her
wasn't she
up.
wasn't being serious though.
No,
She
but
said you're
hey,
probably gonna say that you want to beat her up.
yeah. Hey, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? If it's, I go into the ring every time, and I kind of view everyone as once I'm in the ring, like that green person in the WWE 2K where when you're creating a wrestler and you're going through all the move sets and stuff like that. That green character that doesn't like that's people in the ring to me. I'm going in there. I have one job to do, and that's to beat that person up however I have to do or whatever it is that I have to do to come away with that win. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
do. And it doesn't matter who it is.
Okay. Speaking of matches, you have a match upcoming, your first match, debut match with UCW, October 24th.
Yep.
The Larry Gallant, I hope I pronounced the name right, Larry Gallant Battle Rumble. So what is your excitement level at for this debut?
Whew. Well, it's the Larry Gallant Battle Rumble. The Larry Gallant Battle Rumble has been around for many years. I should say many, but it's been around for a few years. It's an annual thing that UCW puts on with their Halloween show, and it's actually I'm quite excited. I am very excited. I think I can put a good strategy together once I know my entrant when I'm going in there. I think I could put a strategy together to last as long as I can. And then from there, you never know what's going to happen. There's so many moving bodies, and you got to really watch your back in those places. And I don't really have a whole lot of friends there. Like I'm the new guy, so I expect people to try and get me out of that match as soon as possible. But I'm going to do everything I can to stick around and win that tournament, and really really show that Sam Shields is here to stay. The real deal. I put the work in over the last, almost the last year, last 9 months. I don't know how long is time. Time doesn't exist during COVID, does it, Lewis?
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it's
It
weird,
doesn't.
man. It's weird. I literally say the other day, and when I say the other day, it could have been 6 months ago, but to me, it's the other day. But yeah,
Okay.
no, I think I think that these guys are, they don't know what to expect with me, and I think that I'll have to really watch my back because there's not going to be anybody there to want to keep me around in that match. So I'm going to do everything I can to win that trophy and show them that Sam Shields is the real deal.
All right. Speaking of UCW, let's go back to Mia. She's
Yes.
the UCW Atlantic Canadian champion. Have you looked at her with the belt and think, gee, I'd like to have that belt around my waist?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've got goals in this business, Lewis. I've got goals and aspirations and things that I want to do, and things that I want to accomplish. I know that it's a waiting game. You got to be patient, and it's when the time's right, the time is right. But any promotion that I'm a part of, any belt that's out there, I want it. I want to be the person that owns that belt. I want to be the face of wrestling around, in Canada, in the United States, around the world. I want to take myself as far as I absolutely can in this business, And I'm the type of person that will put the work in and has the work ethic to get where I need to be, and to absolutely, I always have my eyes on the title, on the prize. And
Okay, so
that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned goals. So what's the ultimate goal? Where would you ultimately like to end up? WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling. Where would you ultimately like to
Oh,
end
um,
up? End up?
in the end, honestly, as long as if I'm wrestling, and under any contract, I'll take a contract if it's offered to me. I'd be blessed to have that opportunity to work with any one of those companies. But if I was to choose one, I'm not going to give you like the political, oh, I just want to be with anybody or anything like that. No, I think if I was to really choose one, it would be Impact Wrestling, for that shot and for that chance for that dream match of mine to get with Alex Shelley. Absolutely. Or even maybe just be like the third member of the Motor City Machine Gun. Why not, right?
There you go.
Right? Well,
Well,
I don't have
maybe
to
you're
team
from
up with them
Canada.
instead.
You're from Canada. You could join Ethan Page and Josh Alexander and be the third member of the
Ooh,
North as well.
that could be it too. I would be. They would probably need somebody more for that X division, wouldn't they?
That's true. You could be
That's
the
true.
X Division North, the X Division member, the North member of the X Division.
The X division. That's right. I absolutely. And then yeah, let's do it. And then I get my dream match against Alex Shelley, and I can take those
Alex
titles.
Shelley. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go. You
there.
take that. Look
See,
at you. Look
yeah,
at you, man. You're taking titles already, man.
right.
Not even in Impact Wrestling, but you're already a
Not
champ.
even.
You're already the champion. You're
I'm
already
already
the X.
chess, not checkers here, Lewis. Chess, not checkers. uh,
So what's the best match you've ever seen anywhere?
ooh, best match I've ever seen anywhere. Um, I've got two, and I think, um, and I think these might be generic answers, but they are in the bottom of my heart. These are my two favorite matches. First being The Rock versus Hogan. I know, I get it, Rock versus Hogan, but that match to me was huge. Just at the time of my life when I was younger, being such a huge Hulk Hogan fan as a kid, but also just the story of that match and how those two guys controlled that crowd, and how they just performed perfectly to what their surroundings and what they were given. I absolutely love that match, and I could watch it over and over and over again. And I get goosebumps thinking about it. The second being, I would say, yeah, the second being absolutely Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania there.
Okay.
The I Quit match, or the submission match, I thought was again absolutely unreal. The storytelling, the back and forth of just the whole thing. Stone Cold not having submissions and having to beat Bret with a submission, having the crowd literally booing Stone Cold during his entrance, and then cheering Austin by the end of the match or after the bell was like, it's unreal. And for two guys that are absolute legends, and I just feel like both those matches are huge learning moments for anybody in this business. And one of the biggest things that I feel like I need to learn this short in my career is listening to the crowd, is being able to live in that moment, and just that moment, and know where you got to go next, or what they want, and give them what they want. It's those are that I think is what really sets the best from the rest in wrestling, is those people that really know how to slow it down. Again, I'm a sports guy, so I kind of reverted back to guys like football or hockey. Like your Sidney Crosby's or your Tom Brady's, as much as I hate to say it, or Peyton Manning's, or all those guys, all the greats. They're the type that they know how to slow the game down to their pace, and they can do whatever they want. And that's what makes them so great, because they have that vision and they have that ear for a crowd, or for just being great.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Hogan Rock match. I absolutely love that. I love both matches you just mentioned. But every time I watch Hogan versus Rock, and I've seen it many times, I always just wish that Hogan would pull out the victory. I always think maybe this time Hogan's gonna actually get the 3 count. I root for it every single time,
Right?
and
Well,
of
and you
course The
feel
Rock won
it.
the match, but
But you feel it every time I watch that match. You think like, okay, well, it's like watching it again. Like you can watch it again and again and again, but it's new. I feel like every single time. And that's why I get goosebumps talking about that one. But I think that's also, again, with the story, like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash coming out after that match and almost kind of being the beginning of the end really for the NWO, if I recall correctly. And
that's correct. Yeah.
that is, if I remember correctly too, that wasn't supposed to happen until I think a couple weeks later on Raw or SmackDown that they were going to do that. But just the way that the things kind of happened that night and being able to go on the fly and say, we can't do anything else here. Like, this is the time to do it because it was so perfect. All the stars aligned in that night, and it was just unreal. Unreal.
Unreal. Like when he dropped the leg and the crowd went berserk and
Oh,
everyone's standing up, they're counting 1, 2. I'm like, please, just referee, hit 3, please, just hit 3.
yeah, just change your cadence. Just go faster. Whatever you got to do, hit that mat, right? Like,
You see
it's
the
true.
director's edition of the match with the alternate
Yeah,
ending. Come
the
on.
alternate, yeah, the alternate ending. Yeah, that's right. That would be good.
Oh, man. All right, so one more question, and then I'll let you plug anything you want to plug. So I know it's eventually going to happen sooner or later, but how would you feel about a teacher versus student match, you versus Covey Christ?
Oh, I'd love it. I absolutely love it, and I look forward to that. I do. I think I don't think it's going to happen soon, but I think because I definitely have a lot to learn before I can really get into a match with Kobe. The guy is so good, Lewis, so good. He It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how good that guy is. And I know that it would be pretty much a no contest, practically a squash match, I think, at this point. And I'm not trying to sell myself short or anything like that. I just mean that Kobe, I believe, in my eyes, is that good. So I'll have to, a little bit more time in training, a little more time that I can hopefully, steal some of his tricks of the trade, and
Okay, okay.
but I do think that, and I do hope that that happens eventually, and I can't wait for it. It would be an honor to do so. It really would.
Yeah, you don't need to convince me on how good Kobe Christ is. I've been a
Ah,
fan and a friend of his for a long time, and he's just absolutely phenomenal,
ah,
absolutely phenomenal.
amazing guy, inside and outside the ring. Like, honestly, one of the best people I've come across on this planet is Kobe. He's an A1 guy. He's a real beauty.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Last question. I'm sorry. I know I said that would be the last
No,
question.
man.
I have one
Hey,
more question. I just see on my list. I know you right now. You're a baby face, but do you think you could work heel? You think one day you'd like to try to
yeah,
work heel?
absolutely. I think I could pull it off. I think actually it was fun that I had the chance to be a heel at the Maritime Wrestling Academy show. Um,
Okay. Okay.
and I was a little unprepared, but because I was expecting. I'm a babyface guy. Like, I think I'm definitely more of a blue eye type person for this business. But I also have a bit of I can have a bit of a douchebag side. You know what I mean? Like, I think I can really garner some heat with people. Hey, call a spade, right? It is what it
Okay.
is,
There you go. There you
right?
go.
So, but yeah, no, I think I'd love to. I'd like to eventually down the road, if it comes, or if somebody makes me angry enough in that ring that sometimes you don't expect it to happen and it just happens. Sometimes you lose your cool and you could be the biggest blue eye, but you lose your cool in that ring and your people don't like what you do. But yes, I would like to be a
All
try
right.
heel, really show off that side.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. So, if you have anything you want to plug, you have any, not sure if you have any merchandise yet, but any social media, any upcoming matches.
Yeah,
We talked about a few. So, if you want
we
to
did.
plug anything, go right ahead.
I appreciate that. Well, yeah, as we said, I've got two upcoming shows. I've got one with UCW Pro Wrestling on October 24th in Spryfield, Nova Scotia, And then for the following 2 weeks after that, we are back with what I call my home ice or my home rink of Kaizen Pro Wrestling on November 7th. I'll be facing Max Power. Be sure to check out Kaizen Pro Wrestling on IWTV. You can follow me on Instagram at Sam_Shields PW. If you want to take a flyer out, if you see those matches, again, I don't have very many under my belt, but I promise you I will make it worth your time. If you want to give me a booking, you can reach me at shields.rising@gmail.com. But yeah, mainly the Instagram. Other than that, I got no merch yet, but merch soon to come. And that stuff will all be announced on the IG. So I guess, yeah, that would be the place to go.
Okay.
Sam_Shields PW.
There you go. There you go. Well, Sam, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure and great conversation. And let's do this again, maybe 2-3 months down the road. Let's do this again and have another chat. How's that sound?
Absolutely. I would love to, Lewis. I really appreciate you having me on here and really kind of giving me a chance. You know, I'm very, very green in this industry, and I truly, truly appreciate you taking the time and giving me this opportunity to be on your show.
Hey, my pleasure, man. I've been a pro wrestling. I'm a little older than you. I've been a pro wrestling fan since 1978. You guys are the greatest, not just entertainers, but greatest athletes in the world, and always been a huge fan. So anytime I can help any professional wrestler out, to me it's well worth it. And it brings joy to me, man. So that's why I speak to you, speak to Mia, speak to Covey. You guys are awesome, man.
Hey, thank you. Really, Lewis, thank you so much. And it's guys like you and fans everywhere that really is it's what we do it for, you know, and we appreciate everybody's support and even the people that don't fully support. Hey, if you know our names and you're clicking like on anything, we really appreciate that too. So, we all love this business and we do it for, I feel like, especially with, myself, Covey, Mia, some folks in the Maritimes, we do it for the love of it, and we really do appreciate the support that guys like you give us.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And like I said, 2-3 months down the road, let's do this again, man. I had absolute blast talking to you today.
Hopefully have a few more stories of matches under my belt for you that we can get into.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. We will.
All right, man. Well, again, thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, and just stick around. I just want to talk to you quickly after I wrap this up, if that's okay.
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, this has been Shooting Up North Indy Edition. I'm your host, Lewis Carlan. Again, want to thank my guest, rising star of the Maritimes, Sam Shields. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.